Hey everybody, it's Jeffrey here, and I thought I would take a break from Toss the Turtle and just react to some horror stories. Now, I chose a nice long one so that I can have some type of a series with it going now. And I don't know why these barriers are here. That's stupid. All right. Well, we're going to get straight into the video, and I will be continuing Toss the Turtle. Once I'm done reacting to this entire video, it'll probably be like 2 or 3 parts. I'll make them longer. I did get that premium for the Clip Champ, so now I can make it 30 minutes. So, reaction starting in 3, 2, 1. Oh, wait. By the way, I'm sorry for having that absolutely ear-damaging music from the last few episodes, like the last 3 episodes of Toss the Turtle. I will be muting the audio because I can't control how loud that gets. So I'm sorry. Here we go.
I was 13 when this happened.
Oh, really?
My
What
parents
happened?
left on a business trip to LA, so I had to stay home. My dad gave me his card so that I could order whatever I needed,
That's
so
a
I kinda
nasty looking
enjoyed
pizza.
being alone. And I wasn't scared because I've been home alone so many times,
I'm
and
actually home alone right now.
besides,
That's kind
it
of
was
cool.
only for 3 days. Well, this was around the time the clowns were breaking into
Oh,
houses and doing some weird stuff.
I don't know what you guys thought about those clowns, but clowns were so stupid.
But they never came to my area since they usually hit more quiet places, especially the area near a forest. Although we had a
Oh, I don't
fence that could
like
easily allow someone to climb
living
over,
near a
we didn't
forest.
really
That's
think
just
much about it
scary.
because the area where we lived in was very safe. Anyway, it
Very
was
safe.
around
Anybody, I
6
can't hop over the
p.m.,
little wooden
and this
fence.
was in the winter, so it got dark pretty fast. We had a glass room at the back of the house,
See,
also
I
known
don't
as a
understand the point of those glass
conservatory,
rooms.
and it
I
leads
kind of find
straight
them
to the
pointless.
garden.
Very
The
stupid.
room was right
Turn it up.
next to the kitchen. I got a little hungry, so I went to the fridge, took out some snacks, and went back
What
to the
is
living
that?
room to continue watching TV. There was a roof on the glass room that intensified any sound that landed on top of it, even the gentlest drop of water.
Okay, make your guys' predictions now. I'm guessing some clown's gonna burst through the window. What do you guys think? Comment down below.
That day, it was raining heavily, so it was too noisy to hear anything except
So,
the
I'm
rainfalls
sorry, this will be
pounding
the
on
last
the
time I stop the
roof.
video, but I'm probably gonna make the episode. I'm probably gonna make 5 episodes on this video, each one being 10 minutes long. Get 5 part. Well, no, I'll just do one story, one part.
About a few minutes later, I was quite
So
sleepy,
14
so I
parts.
decided to go up to my room and lay
We'll do
down.
3 stories
I was
each
about
time.
to grab my
3 or
phone
4
and check
stories.
my social media, but then I heard something drop really hard on something downstairs. It really creeped me out. I got really scared, but decided to go downstairs to check, thinking that
If
it
you're
would
ever
be
in this
nothing.
situation,
So
lock your
I
door.
came out of my room,
Stay in
went
your room.
halfway down the
Don't go
staircase,
investigate.
and looked
That's
down
how
the
people die.
hallway. The whole area was dark, but I
Oh
knew
no
that
no 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 no
someone was
no no no
standing
no
there.
no 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 no
I
no no
saw
no
the
no
back of a silhouette. I
no.
quickly went to my room, trying not to make any noise.
That's what you
Then
should.
I heard someone walking around the living
Lock the
room.
door and call the
I
cops, please.
immediately called the police and
Thank you.
whispered to the operator that I needed help ASAP. But all of a sudden,
You
I
can
had
hold
a
back.
sneezing fit. I
You
was
can hold
so
back a
panicked
cough.
at that
Come on,
moment,
or
so I
sneeze.
instantly ran to the bathroom since it was the only room with a lock. As I was reaching the bathroom, he sprinted up the stairs so fast. I locked the door and tried not to cry. The man tried to open the door. He kept turning the doorknob. The bathroom had a small, blurry window, but I was able to see outside. So, just then, I got a glimpse of what was at the door. It was a
Oh, that's good.
clown,
That
with
scared me.
green
Why did that
hair
scare me?
and without a nose. He
Whew.
was wearing a very weird outfit and was
Wait a
holding a
second.
without a nose.
Hold up.
He
That's a
was wearing
nose.
a
That's a
very
nose right
weird
there.
outfit and was holding a gigantic knife. I had no other choice, so I quickly hopped inside the bath, opened the big window, and jumped out.
I thought for
I slid off
sure.
the big
Oh,
roof and fell on the
huh.
concrete. I couldn't even feel my injury because I was so scared. As I was about to hop on the fence, I heard the cops. They entered our house, and after that, they arrested and cuffed him.
Hey, it's the
When he
Joker.
walked past
She's
me, I
just
was so
beasted falling off
scared
that
and my
roof though.
body was
Oh my god.
shivering. But I was glad that it was over. The police contacted my parents, so they came back home in a hurry. I would see them
Falling off the
again,
roof.
and I
Only one
knew
band-aid
that
on
I
the
was
side of
safe
your
now.
face.
From then
Wow,
on,
that is
I
so
never stayed
accurate.
at home alone, and that clown guy was in prison for several years for scaring kids and for possible murder.
Yeah, I don't. Okay, first impressions. You're not gonna go to jail for scaring kids. You don't go to jail for scaring kids. Second of all, evidence. Like I know he attempted murder, all that, yeah, with the big knife and stuff. But breaking and entering. Where's the breaking and entering? Okay, let's just keep on going.
This happened when I was 17 years old. I was a senior in high school. It was the middle of the week, and my friends and I were chatting online about wanting to do something new and fun over the weekend. We
New and
usually
fun.
just went to the movies, went to the mall, or got dinner, and I thought we should try something different. The next day, I was in the computer lab for one of my classes, and I had some time to kill because I finished my assignment early. Keep in mind, Snapchat and Instagram were just starting up and didn't have the same kind of popularity as it has today. So the only thing we really had at the time was Facebook.
Okay.
However, my school was strict and blocked Facebook,
So you
so the only
Snapchat
thing
and
I could really
Instagram.
do was read articles on news websites.
Oh, I just realized that they said.
While
Okay,
searching and
I'm sorry,
scrolling through
guys.
the internet,
That's
an
just a
article
moment of
showed up.
stupidity from me.
It was about an interview with a man who was discussing the truth of paranormal activity around the area I grew up in.
Ooh.
Intrigued, I read the article and looked up the places the guy was talking about. And sure enough, I found a bunch of things.
All right,
One
predictions. Leave them in the comments. I think he's gonna go to that house. He's gonna get scared and run away.
place in particular caught my eye. It was a place about 20 minutes away from where I lived.
He's already
It
saying where
was
it is.
known
He's
to
gonna go
have multiple paranormal occurrences
scared
happen on
leave.
the exact same road.
Yeah, there's some
As soon as
dark
class ended,
figures gonna
I
come get
texted my
him.
friends about what I found, and we all agreed on going and seeing
Yep,
what this road was all
I
about
called
Friday
it.
night.
I called it. Yep.
Friday night finally arrived.
Yep.
It
There
was
they go.
me and four of my friends. Right before we entered the location, I parked my car and had my friend drive because we believed that if a guy drove, not much would happen.
Oh, ads. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Oh, I'm sorry. This is awkward. Very awkward. And it's buffering. I'm sorry, guys. Alright, back to the video.
So she drove my
I'm getting an
car
ad
while I was
blocker soon.
sitting in the
I'm very sorry
passenger
about
seat.
that.
While switching seats, my other friends put baby powder on the top of my car
Why?
because one of my other friends read that it helps people see when ghosts touch or brush your car.
So they put it on that one
It
little
started
spot?
to drizzle a bit, which bummed us out because the baby powder would be washed away.
And why
As
do
we
they
were
make it
driving
drool
my
like
car,
that?
we turned off the radio to make it more suspenseful. All of a sudden, we heard someone from a distance scream bloody murder.
Oh.
At that moment, I heard the sound of a car door trying to be opened, as if someone was aggressively trying to get into my car.
As they're driving?
After that, we saw a police car driving so fast with the sirens on, as if they were chasing someone on a major highway. The problem with that was the road was paper thin and had tons of sharp turns, so you couldn't go that fast without crashing into another car.
And
Plus, the car didn't
turn
have any of the
around.
county police or trooper tags from the area I lived in.
Turn around.
I knew that because my dad was a cop, and I saw all kinds of different cop
Just turn
tags in my
around.
lifetime. I was freaked
It'll
out that
save
those
you
two
the
things just
embarrassment.
occurred. We were
Turn
all
around.
freaked out and drove to the nearest parking lot so that we could
That is
calm down.
not a parking lot. That is
As we got out of the car,
definitely
one of my friends started to freak out even more.
See?
The baby powder on the roof of my car was smeared, and it
But
was
like I
all
said,
over my
it's
passenger
possible,
seat side
and there's claw
door.
marks.
What was even more creepy
That
was
is
the fact that there were
so
finger
gross.
marks all over the door. Now, this wouldn't normally creep me out, but we were driving the entire time, and we all made sure not to touch the doors when entering the car.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
The
You just
strangest part was that the
you
finger
you
marks
use your
had no
telepathical
fingerprints,
minds and
but were
just
clearly
float through the
shaped like a
windows.
hand. It was as if someone was trying to reach for the door handle. Not only that, but we also noticed that there were fingernail claw marks on my door handle. This freaked me out because earlier I heard someone violently trying to open my door.
Oh, that's nasty.
In the next few days, we told everyone, both online and in person, about that night and how it freaked us all out. Then someone sent me a link to an article about the street we drove on and all the activity that occurred on it. But it wasn't the one I originally read. It was a different one. As I was reading the website, I started to notice that all the things mentioned also happened to me the same exact way that night. But what freaks me out the most to
What
this
does?
day is thinking about what would have happened if I didn't have my door locked. Would the door have opened up?
Why with the head crick? That is so nasty.
A few days ago, I went to a Macy's store with my mother and son to go check out some jewelry. While my mom was checking out jewelry,
I absolutely despise when I see heads turning around. That is so nasty. So nasty.
I noticed an old man around his 50s come near us. He
Well, that's
was
definitely not
about 8
creepy.
feet from us. At first, I thought he was just a random customer checking something out for his lady or something.
Nope.
Then, from the corner
Why?
of my
Why
eye,
sketch his
I
face like that?
noticed
That's
he
so
was just standing there without
so
moving
weird.
and looking at us. It made me feel uncomfortable, so I
Literally
turned
could sketch them
around,
like
moving the
any other way.
stroller, which my toddler
Nope.
was in, because
Oh, now you
I
have a
didn't
toddler?
want him looking at my baby. I turned my eyes to look at him again, and I could see that he was just staring at me with a creepy look. He was staring at me and my baby.
That's when
Then,
you
all
walk
of a
away.
sudden, he grinned widely at us. The weirdest thing about him was that he was wearing women's shoes and a
What?
scarf, and also holding a dress in his hand. He opened his mouth and tried to say something. I couldn't hear what he was saying, but I could read his lips. I like you. I like your baby. I just thought the man was a weirdo.
What?
And then my mom also noticed that he was odd and creepy. He saw that my mom was glaring at him, so he walked away.
This
But
is
then he
very,
appeared
very,
on the
very weird,
opposite
and
side
I
of
do
us
not
and
like it
started staring at me
whatsoever.
again. This time, he pulled his phone out and made it seem like he was about to take a picture. He was staring at us and his eyes
Oh,
opened widely.
God.
He was smiling like a crazy psychopath. That was enough. I wanted to go up to him and tell him to get away from us, but I had my boy with me and didn't want anything to happen, so I
Literally,
chose to just get out of there.
thank you.
I told a lady who was working there what happened. She said that she would go take a look at him. A few minutes later, she came back and told us that he was a customer who has been reported before by other people. My mom asked, "Why hasn't he been kicked out then?" The lady said, "Well, because he hasn't threatened or hurt anyone, so the store doesn't have a good enough reason to kick him out." My mom and I were pissed off because obviously the man is just there to harass people. The lady then told us that he said something creepy to her and also made her uncomfortable. She told us that when she went to go ask him what he was up to, he told her that he went to the store to return a dress. He decided that he didn't like that he bought it for his lady. He told her with a smile, "Yeah, I need to change quickly because she's cold now." My mom and I instantly felt so creeped out, so we just left. What did that mean? Could he have been hiding a dead body back at his place? A few days later, and I feel relieved that the crazy guy didn't harm us. But I'm still wondering what he meant by, "She's cold now."
Time it out.
Oh, oh, ew. All right, last horror story, and I'll make a second part. That
This story happened
okay? That last one genuinely gave me the chills. That was just nasty.
in the summer of 2017 when I was 10 years old. My older brother and I had a babysitter, and she was around the age of 17. Since my mom was home on Tuesdays, the babysitter would come on the other weekdays.
And they could have
Most
animated
days
that
when
face
she
way better instead of
babysat,
having a
we would
gigantic
go to the
smile.
neighborhood pool, hang out, and eat lunch there. Then we
Who
went
eats a
back
burger
home
like that?
and my
Like
mom would arrive a
the
bit later at
happiest somebody's
around
ever been, just
5:30 in the
gnawing
evening.
on a cheeseburger, just
On one
devouring a
Thursday, the
cheeseburger.
day was just an ordinary one, and the babysitter came around 8 in
Hey,
the
they reused the
morning.
animation. That's pretty good.
A few hours later, we decided to
She's
head to the
very
pool
pale.
and eat lunch.
Why is she so
We all
pale?
got ready and headed out the door. As I used to be a little
It's gonna be a
paranoid back
ghost.
then, every time I went outside, I made sure I locked the door and would immediately turn the doorknob and try to open it to make sure it was locked.
Good,
The
good,
door was
good.
definitely locked, so we walked to the pool and swam for a while. Then we ate lunch and decided to head back to the
See, she's so
house.
happy. Good for her.
When we got home,
The
I
key's
pulled out
gone.
the key from my bag, but I noticed that the door was a crack open. I pushed it, and the door swung open. A little chill ran down my spine as I remembered that I made sure the door was locked before leaving. My babysitter had a frightened look on her face, too. But my stupid brother thought nothing of it and just walked right in, so we followed him.
And he's gonna be the
About
first one
my
to die.
house, when you walk into the house, to the right is an entryway to the living room, and straight ahead is a hallway to the kitchen.
I don't like
The
hallways
stairs
like
are to the
that.
right of the hallway, and you can see the upstairs railing from the entrance. We walked into the kitchen and set our stuff down, and I went to go lock the door. I turned back around to go back to the kitchen, but something caught my attention at the corner of my eye. Looking up at the railing, I could see the silhouette of someone crouched behind a tall, narrow floor fan. I looked a little closer, and I could see their eyes. They were wide open and were staring directly at me. I was
No, no,
frozen
no,
in
no, no,
fear
no,
and
no.
couldn't move.
Oh my god.
All I could do was stare back at them, not knowing if it was a man or woman. My babysitter called for me to come to the kitchen, and the figure slowly walked into a nearby room and disappeared. I ran into the kitchen,
Ooh.
telling my babysitter and brother what I saw. At first, they didn't believe me, but then, all of a sudden, we were all silent as we heard slow footsteps creaking from upstairs. She quietly grabbed both her phone and a kitchen knife and ushered us to the back door.
Thank god they're
She
not going to
slowly
like a
turned the
bathroom or
doorknob and
something.
tried to not make any noise while opening the door. We made it to the backyard, and she was going to call 911 on her phone. But before she could, we heard a tapping sound coming from one of the windows on the second floor.
That's when you full sprint.
So we all looked up, and then we saw him. He was a man, late 50s, short black hair, eyes still wide open, staring at us.
And that's
He
when you
was
full
pushing
sprint.
the blinds out of the way, so we saw his face very clearly. We screamed and started running to the gate on the side of the backyard.
Again, thank you, full
The
sprint. Out of
babysitter
there.
dropped her phone while scared, so I picked it up and ran behind her. I dialed 911, told them our address, and explained to the operator what just happened. She said they would be there in a few minutes, told us to go to a nearby neighbor's house and stay there until the cops arrive. We rang a doorbell a few times, and one of our neighbors, who was retired, came outside. He let us in, and we explained what happened as we were looking out of the window. Then we saw 3 cop cars pulling up, and the cops were surrounding my home.
Ooh, that's
3
weird.
cops headed in through the front door and investigated our house. We went outside to tell them that we were okay, and the other police officers started questioning us. Soon the cops came back after finding nothing and doing a thorough investigation. They told us it would be best to not stay home, as the person may come back. So the babysitter said we could go to her house, which is about a mile away.
How much do you
Just
guys want to bet
then, we
that
heard our
that
neighbors
old
screaming
guy?
from down the
Oh,
street.
maybe not.
A
Never mind.
few houses down, a policeman's car was set on fire and was smoking a lot. The cops
No,
spotted a
I thought a
man
burning police
running
car would just
past the
not smoke at
corner
all.
down towards the end of the street. One officer took us to the babysitter's house, while the other 3 went after that man. We later found out that the man had gotten away, so he never got arrested. Our parents arrived home as they were contacted by the police and freaked out. Later that night, we came back to the house and we searched the whole place to see if anything was missing. A cash box that was stored in my parents' bedroom was missing, but we didn't report it since the man was never found. I have no idea who that was or how he opened our front door.
I still should have reported it,
I
though.
still
Get
wonder
that
to
money,
this
money.
day what would have
Because if he ever
happened
gets
if
caught,
I
he would still
never
be liable
noticed
for
the
that, right?
man.
Like,
He could have done something to us while we were sleeping.
yeah,
I
he would still
still
be,
feel uneasy
I think,
sometimes when I'm home alone.
reliable, right? Yeah, because he did the crime. It doesn't matter how long ago you do the crime. Thank you guys for watching. I will be making 3 parts, 3 to 4 parts of this, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you later.